Fellow hobbyists, collectors, and Preheads alike, welcome again back to my channel, Predator Collectibles, where I am your host, Glendon Taylor. Now, if you're new to this channel and you just stumbled upon this video, I want to welcome you, where we talk about anything and everything underneath the Predator franchise, from comic books, action figures, prop replicas, statues, and today, and any of my videos, is no different. And we're going to be talking about the Scout ship underneath the NECA die-cast Cinemachines line. And I just happen to have them right here, and I was really excited to add this to my collection. There's a lot of appearances that this ship makes, 5 as a matter of fact, 2 video games, 2 movies, and a comic book. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with this review, as we should. Now, this is not the first time we received a Scout ship as a toy. If you remember the company Galoob, which they're very famous for their Micro Machines playsets, one of those playsets happened to be a Predator head, where if you open up that set head, it revealed the Gorilla Camp, similar structure to the movie, where you can reenact the scene or other scenes from the beginning of the movie to the end of the film. And a lot of the figure assortments that you could have gotten was a camouflage Gorilla Hummer, thermal vision Dutch, unmasked open-mouth Predator, Anna, and of course the Scout ship. Now, in this case, the Scout ship is pretty much more bigger than the Micro Machines, because this is about 6.5 inches in length, 5 inches in width, and about 3 inches in depth. Now, when I first see, as you'll notice in this image of the Z-brushed digital sculpt of the Predator Scout ship that was teased by NECA, I was looking at the front of it, as well as, of course, the image from the movie, and it kind of reminds me with the jet propelled engines on the side of the hull of the ship. It kind of looks to remind me of a Boeing 737 commercial airliner. Now, the box is really great in depth and detail as far as the size goes. I was not expecting this to be as big of a box as it is, but it does have number 6 on the front, indicating that this is the 6th Cinemachine in the Cinemachine line from NECA, which I think is really awesome, and I can't wait to get more Cinemachines in my collection. But what's on the back of the box is the most interesting part. The Scout ship type short-range space transport carrier carries 1 pilot plus up to 6 landing pods with defenses of minimal shielding, 2 front-mounted medium-range plasma cannons. Comes from Iota Prime, obviously. Often connected to a mothership, the Scout ship is used to drop off the Iota hunters in close proximity to a planet. Now, that's very true. In 2004's Alien vs. Predator by Paul Anderson, if you pay very close attention, just when the mothership is entering Earth's atmosphere, just before deploying the 3 pods, you can see 2 Scout ships in the docking bays of the hull of the ship. Now, if you missed that, that's perfectly fine, because at the very end of the movie, where the Elder Predator reveals himself in front of Lex along with the rest of the hunting party, and the mothership decloaks, you can see yet another Scout ship right above them. Now, if this ship were to exist in real time, the full-scale size would be 33.5 meters in length and 125 meters in width. So that's 110 feet in length and 82 feet wide. If the New York Predators, a football team based out of Staten Island, New York, ran the 37-yard line all the way to the end zone, they would have ran the full length of a Predator Scout ship. Now, the weight also indicates that it's approximately 196,632 kilograms, which, based upon that alone, is roughly around 433,000 pounds. That's the equivalent of 1 blue whale and 1 sperm whale combined. A sperm whale can weigh as much as 130,000 pounds, and a blue whale 300,000 pounds. Now, the max speed is 96,000 miles per hour relative to our Earth's sun. So the rotation of our Earth, science, is 1,000 miles per hour. The distance between Mars and Earth is roughly about 140 million miles away. It would take us as human beings 9 months to travel. So if you calculate it out, where it's 140 million divided by 96, roughly it would get there, a Predator Scout ship, in 2 months compared to our 9 months. And I think this is really funny, because this was mentioned in a comic book called Aliens vs. Predator 3 World War, where Machiko decided to translate how long it would take to get to a certain planet. The Marines indicated it would take 7 weeks. The Predators, laughing hysterically, said it would take us 3 weeks to get there compared to you. When you take this ship out of the box, you clearly have, of course, the plastic vacuum formed holding the ship in place with one tire wrap. Now with the plastic stand, it's very simple. You have 2 pieces, and the long neck piece I really like a lot because it does have, if you'll notice on the top peg, where it can pivot forward. Now with the bottom stand, you of course just put them together as lined up, and you'll of course hear the 2 clicks on both front and back ends of those pegs that hold it in place. Now once you get the ship positioned how you want to, I think this is just a magnificent piece for any collector to add to their Predator collection. You have to be, of course, extremely careful with the 2 front plasma cannons because they are made out of plastic, and if you're bending them too much or they could break. I know my bottom dorsal fin is bending a little bit, but that's perfectly fine. I just don't want to mess it up too much. I do like the amount of detail this ship offers compared to the Galoob Micro Machines scout ship, because again, this is not Micro Machines, but it is in fact a 7-inch scale scout ship. Even with the jet propulsion engines on each side of the ship, they're even as much detailed as I would like them to be. And the rear end of the ship is also detailed as well. I really do like this ship a lot. I'm very glad that I was able to add it to my collection, and I just can't wait to get the other ship from Predator 2. Now I did mention that this particular scout ship from Predator does make 5 appearances in other forms of media for Predator, which is why we as Predator fans consider it canon. The first one is obviously in 1987 in the movie by John McTiernan. The second one from 1989 is Predator Concrete Jungle by Dark Horse Comics in issues 3 and issues 4, where the Predators run amok in New York City. And of course, the second film, Aliens vs. Predator in 2004 that I mentioned before. Now the 2 video games that this particular scout ship makes appearance in is Predator Concrete Jungle of the same name by Sierra Entertainment, and you should see this scout ship underneath Neonopolis in the cutscene of dead men walking when you have to fend off a bunch of drug addict based humans. The second video game is under Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, where you play the Predator mission. You have to defeat the Predator in that said mission, and you actually are investigating the scout ship that's underneath all a bunch of vines and foliage just before you try to beat the Predator himself. I believe this is a fantastic collectible for NECA to make, and I do want to appreciate the fact they decided to think outside the box as opposed to just sticking with action figures and giving us a die-cast metal ship to enjoy for our very own, and I just can't wait to get the other ship. Now if you guys want to, of course, view other content that I have, make sure you stick around to the end of this video where I have 2 other videos to offer. Make sure also that you will catch me on my live stream that I'll be doing next week. I'll be doing it at 5 p.m. March 21st, where I talk about the Alabama Comic-Con that I'm preparing to go to for the 24th and the 25th. So I'm very excited about what I'm going to talk about. I'll see you guys next week, and happy hunting.